Good afternoon, YouTube family. Today is Saturday, December 14th, 2024. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. I would like to thank all of you good people that have continued to show support to my son and I by taking the time and going over to his channel, Illuminated D, catching a vibe and just relaxing and soaking in the knowledge. He and I appreciate it. Thank you. Family, yesterday I was talking to my son about a subject that I think is something that needs to be brought to the front of the congregation. And the subject was about be careful who you call a friend. More times than not, we call people our friends that really are not our friends. In fact, these people they are wolves that come in sheep's clothing. They are people that seek to prey on other people's resources while not trying to garner any resources of their own. And it takes me back to the days of Houdini, the song Friends. How many of us have them? Let's be friends, ones we can depend on. And then even further than that, it takes me back to the OJs. All the time, they want to take your place, the backstabbers. The backstabbers. You see, as I was telling my son, I don't have a lot of guy friends, in particular, that I call friend. In fact, I'm not all that close to my blood brothers. And I would venture to say that I am closer to men that we don't share any of the same DNA. We don't share any of the blood. In other words, we're not related. But I'm closer to these men, and I have more of a brotherly bond with these men than I have with my own flesh and blood brothers. And we have to understand that a bond, a brotherhood, or a sisterhood is based upon not blood bonds, because you can still be my brother or my sister and we not even share the same family members, the same mother or father. So as I was telling my son, you have to be wary of people that, in particular, people that maybe you knew from a while ago, people that you grew up with, used to work with. You have to be careful who you align yourself with and who you say, that's my boy. That's my homeboy. That's my home girl. Because more times than not, you are giving loyalty to a person who does not deserve it. And given the first opportunity, they will betray you, just as Judas did for some money. So we have to understand that we can't overextend ourselves for people who we think they're our friends, but they're really not. We find ourselves giving to people and trying to save people who, in fact, cannot be saved. And in this life, in this thing called life, I found well over 5 decades of being in this existence, I found that more times than not, the people who I thought that, man, I could depend on, they was going to ride for me, they turned out to be the main ones who was trying to slit my throat while I wasn't looking, no doubt. So, family, With that being said, you have to understand that there are going to be those that are going to perish because everybody can't be saved. If you believe in the teachings of whatever your religious faith is, be it Christianity, Catholicism, if you're a Muslim, doesn't matter. The good books, even those religious teachings say that there are going to be those who are going to have to go to hell. If you believe that. There are going to be those who are going to have to perish because it is not logical that everybody be saved. Because if that was the case, if you believe in what the religions say, if that was the case, then why are we even here going through this thing called life? Because this thing, life, is a test. It's a test to see if you're ready for the next step. But more times than not, we can't even recognize those people that are really, truly not our friends. So we find ourselves making excuses for these people. Well, they didn't have the same opportunities that I had. They didn't, they got a bad shake at life. They grew up in a single parent household. His daddy wasn't nowhere around. His mama nowhere around. The fact of the matter is this. Once you get to be a certain age, it's on you. And it is not somebody else's responsibility to look after you. Therefore, you must do whatever it takes to make sure that you're going to be straight. But having a good heart and whatnot, we make excuses for these folks. And we let these folks into our comfort zones, our spaces, our places of peace. And once they get in, the whole energy changes. Yeah, I get it. If I'm blessed, logic says that, bless others that are less fortunate. If I'm blessed, why not bless somebody else? If the Almighty Creator found mercy to take me from a dead level and rise me up to a perpendicular, then why can't you bless somebody else because you used to be them? So listen, I believe in giving. But here's the thing. Your blessings ain't supposed to be shared. Sometimes there are blessings that are not supposed to be shared with anybody, including those friends who are nothing but opportunists. You see, we always make excuses for these folks. Well, if maybe they change their environment, they'll change. Their mindset will change. But here's the thing. You can take the lion out the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out the lion. And some folks just ain't gonna get it until they get it. And some folks ain't never gonna get it. Hence is why I say everybody ain't gonna make it. And you will be a fool to keep extending your resources to folks and investing in folks who don't deserve it, who are not worthy of it, because somebody had to work hard to get it. And somebody who don't know the value of working hard, they won't understand what it takes to keep it. So we as men, we have to always stand on a square. We have to always stand on a foundation. And we as men must sometimes make the hard choices to tell people, no, I can't help you. No, I ain't got it. Because at that point, we recognize who is our friend and who is just an associate. And even moreover, who I call a brother. Because in my mind, you have your brother, you have your friend, and you just have your associate. A brother supersedes a friend, and the friend supersedes the associate. But you must learn how to discern between the three. Everybody is not going to be worthy of being a friend, and certainly not everybody is going to be worthy to be called my brother. And as I said earlier, you can be my brother, and we not even share the same parents. And those bonds are stronger than the bonds that bind us by blood. So, as I told my son, you have to understand you can't save everybody. And sometimes people have to learn how to save themselves. You know, everybody, for those that think, okay, yeah, we look at wealthy people that got money. Listen, it took hard work to get that. Unless you was born into it, which most of us are not, that look like me, my complexion, you got to get at it. And sometimes you got to sacrifice. Sometimes you got to sacrifice relationships. Sometimes you got to sacrifice romance. Sometimes you got to even sacrifice family, if that includes your children, to do whatever it takes so that you can make sure that you straight. Because if you ain't straight, you can't make sure nobody else is straight. It's easy for people to point their finger and say, oh, well, he ain't about shit. She ain't about shit. It's easy for people to say that. But here's my question to those people. Well, what your ass got? What you bringing to the table? What sacrifices did you make? But by human nature, human beings are selfish creatures. Very selfish. And maybe that was some of the result of, if you believe what the Bible says, when a third of heaven was cast out and the snake tampered with Eve, and instead of man standing on business and saying, no, not me, I ain't finna take no bite of that fruit. We from that point is when it all just went sideways for human beings, if you believe that. What I believe is that we all come from something that's greater than ourselves. And we are all given an inner ability to be more. But some of us are just lazy. Some of us ain't in it some of us only in it for the feel good of it. See, it's not all about, the big house, the cars, and the money. It ain't all about that. It's all about what can you do to keep your generation going. Because here's the thing. Somebody got to pay the price. Somebody got to make the sacrifice. And I'm here to tell you right now, most people that have it, they paid a healthy price. They paid wear and tear on their body, wear and tear on their mind, and a wear and tear on their spirit. And those of us who finally get to a point where we can see and enjoy the fruits of our labor, we understand. But those of us who get to a point where we can leave something behind for others in our generation to keep our generation alive, that is the jewel and the diamond of it all. So, to sum it up and to bring it home, stop trying to help everybody. Stop trying to save everybody, and particularly men. If a man ain't got his SHIT together at a certain age, he should be hungry. He should get it. He should get it like his life depends on it. He should grind until he can't grind no more. Because there's always work that needs to be done. So when you young, you get it on the strength because you still got your youth to empower you. You still got your youth to draw from. But as time starts to go by, as the sand starts to wither through the hourglass, your ass get old and you just ain't got that spark no more. So while you young, get it on the strength. But I also understand that there are men out there who was raised primarily by their mothers. The men that look like me. And they sometimes are in positions, you know, the mother don't always do a great job. Sometimes you have old school mothers who, you know, they had to be the man and they had to be the father and the mother. But some mothers were just, you could still glean something useful from them. So, you know, just because you have a single mother raising a young black man, don't mean that she can't give him something. But when it comes to the emotional side of it, being stoic, being masculine, and part of being masculine is not depending on somebody else. And if given an opportunity when you have nothing, you seize that moment like it's the last one that you're going to ever have on the face of this earth. And when given the opportunity, it's like taking a breath of air when you've been held up under the water for like a minute, and a minute feels like an hour. Trust me, I know. But I also know that there's men out there who are not willing to do the work. Because I don't believe every brother got to be a lame. He got to be a dusty. He got to be a pook. He got to be sorry. I believe that all brothers have that inner spark where they can change if they want to. But it's easier just to mooch. It's easier just to feed off other people. And, you know, I know you have females that do that mooch off their friends. But I can understand when a woman does it, because a woman is an emotional creature, and I will give them grace. But when men do it, you get no understanding from Big D. Get your own. Get it for yourself. So you know that nobody can take it away from you because it's yours. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.